Cursed be those who have writ of love, those who have versed poem in her favor, those who are snared by the alluring undertow of romanticism. They are but a naive mechanism, animated by the chemistry of passion. So the guilty woe, Cupid, so I woe. But was it not you who brought her to me? You are mischievous to loose your arrow at my heart, only to poison my soul. You must have seen me there that night inside of Glumber's pub, staggering drunk, numb in despair. Because it was that very night an angel entered that pub, and the impression she left poured radiant light over my dreary, miserable state, forcing me to love. I tell you, it was true love at first sight, but who could not know that? Every slobbering, ale-drinking drunkard turned with wide eyes as she stepped to the bar. "Good night, Rhonda," a tipsy young maiden called, looking back as she exited the pub. Was she addressing this newly arrived beauty? Yes, indeed she was, for this fairest girl had responded with a warm smile and a slight nod of her noble head. Rhonda. The name suited her and filled me with a longing I had not experienced before. She was such a perfect scene, her long raven hair flowing down her soft white neck, and those emerald eyes that would steal your senses in a moment if you had courage to catch her stare. She had the elegance of a princess, and I knew that I must have her. That is where you entered this picture, Cupid, demon spawn of betrayal. You see, lost in my drunkenness, I forgot myself, and my intoxicated mind numbed my wits long enough for me to mumble an absent-minded invocation. Cupid, bringer of love, I said, lend me but one of your legendary arrows, so that I might persuade this most charming temptress to submit to my plea of love. If only for this one night, you may have my heart forevermore. It was all I could think to do. I was so pathetic. Never under my own power could I approach her. It would mortify me and most likely offend her. Then the heavy, humid, ale-reeking air began to overtake me. But as I began to swoon, joyful melody uplifted the hefty stench, and all the sobers in the small, congested pub began to dance. This might be the perfect opportunity, I thought. Now the approach would be far more casual. I would offer her a dance. That way, by far the most dishonoring notion I could conceive would be a polite swaying of her gentle head, declining my offer. I must do this, I thought. I must, at least, ask her to dance. But my legs no sooner stood than a young scraggly youth stumbled over to my angel, and with much less than a gentleman's charm extended her an offer to my dance. I was not at all astonished then to see her accept his invitation with a smile. I watched the two of them prounce about like bumbling fools across that ale-drenched floor for what seemed an eternity before I slumped back down into my familiar chair. Then the two of them, like giddy school children, laughed and exchanged humor as only a newly infatuated couple does. I watched through a tortured soul as the two of them stood and left the pub together, his hand upon hers, hers upon his, clasped tight in mutual affection. Bastard! I pouted under my breath as I waved the bartender for another ale. With the sorrow of the moment and the barley suds from my mug came the tears I had fought back all night, and at that moment, thunder from a brewing storm in the distant night made its way to my lonely ears. Only the thunder. My tears were the rain. Rain for Rhonda.